Welcome back to Baseball Stars. It's been a little bit here since we've last had our game, but the two teams all getting ready to go. You got the Spiral Cave Bunnies, you've got the Adirondack Fives, all geared up, ready to go. Those are your starting lineups here on this day. You've got the Spiral Cave Bunnies. Let me get the bat first. Start off with Moonrisen Phoenix batting leadoff this time around. 384 hitter for the second half of the season. Starts off with a single over to Orange right. Back to the wall. Rounding first, heading over to second. And Moonrisen Phoenix is on with a stand-up double to start off this game. Here's Sigil. Sigil pops this up. Moon staying at second. That is Shock Ninja underneath it for out number 1. Night Shifter's getting upgraded up to the number 3 position. Has been doing pretty solid this half season, so has earned kind of a more than a temporary stop in the starting lineup here. Down the middle for strike 2. 0-2, one away, and oh, off the side of the plate. What a beautiful piece of cheddar. As Kiki gets Night Shifter to swing and out. Here's Smile Fires. Rips this over to right. Right, though, at the right fielder, Panzer Dave, for out number 3. Side retired. So they get 1 on base, but leave Moonrisen Phoenix stranded. Middle of the first. Still no score. Here on the bun. Here's Fred on the mound for Spiral Cave Bunnies. Dealing a 409 earned run average. Angel of Sin catching. Fred gets Snow Bear to swing and miss. Strike 1. And then down the middle for strike number 2. And right through the middle, that's a base hit. So Snow Bear is on with a leadoff single. Here's Yarn Dragon Tracy, who went yard last time up. Cutoff prevented the possibility of a double, but a double play there. All Dog is fouling off to the third base side, and then fouls off to the first base side. Sigil showing off some acrobats there, trying to gather that. Grounder over towards third. It's going to get quite hilarious over here, but we will get the out for Snow Bear at second base. So now runner on first on the fielder's choice. Base hit down the right side. That's going to go through for more than one base. Oh, they got to play at second. Out at second. Side retired, trying to stretch that into a double. No score. After 1 on the bun. Here's Coconut Ed leading off the second. Coconut Ed's been struggling quite a bit. Hits that pretty well, but it goes foul into the seats. 0-1. Outside, ball 1. Inside for ball 2. The 2-1 is hit up into the air. Snow Bear trying to get underneath. It does for the first out. So here's Z-Man. Z-Man's been struggling at the plate as well. Grounder over just past the shortstop into the outfield for a base hit. So Z-Man is on with a single with 1 away. Here's Mr. Cab swinging at a pitch in the dirt. Wow, that was a tough swing. 0-1. Inside for ball 1. Gets it down the side of the plate. That's strike 2. And it goes through the middle. And that's a base hit. So runners on first and second with one away for Angel of Sin. Angel of Sin rockets, and that's a base hit. And Snowbear retrieves it. Rounding third and heading on home. They're going to score. No attempt to throw to the plate. And it's 1-0 Spiral Cave Bunnies. Here's Fred. Fred's yet to get a hit this second half of the season. Weak grounder. Picked up. Throw to home. They're in time. Throw to first. Safe. Here's Moonrisen Phoenix. Hit a double back in the first inning. One away, 2-0. Bunnies lead. And that's through for a base hit. And the bases will be loaded. Here's Sigil with a huge opportunity here to bring some home. Runners on first, second, and third with one away here in the top of the second. Bunnies lead 2-0. Sigil pops this up into the air, curling foul and beyond the reach of Panzer Dave. 0-1 popped up into the air. Panzer Dave should be underneath it. And is deep for the out. Tagging up, heading on home. Oh, they're not going to head on home. They're going to respect the arm. Night Shifter hits that foul. 0-1. That's going to be a base hit, and that's going to go to the wall. That should clear the bases. One run has scored. Rounding third, another run has scored, and everyone will stop at second and third. So 2 runs have scored. It's 4-0. Spiral Cave Bunnies needed some jolt. They have lost 5 in a row. Here's Smile Fires. Hits it well, but foul. Hits it well. It's heading up into the air. It's going to be playable for Panzer Dave for the out. And that's it. Side retired. But the Bunnies get 4 on the board. They lead this game 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the second on the button. Here's Panzer Dave. Panzer Dave takes the ball outside or inside. 1-0. Hit foul. And hit over towards the right and out. Captain stares at a pitch inside. That's 2-0. Fred delivering. And inside ball 3. So Captain with a hitter's count. And draws the walk. So that puts the runner on first. Here is Tramp Royale hitting 320. And Fred just going inside with his pitches right now. Tramp hits this up into the air, but it's going foul. We'll do the 1-1 coming up in just a moment. One away, top or bottom of the second, 4-0 the Bunnies lead. 2-1 is inside for ball 3. Fred's control has just been very difficult late. This goes over the head of the first baseman, past BBQ. That's a base hit. Actually, that's Coconut Ed, rather. And it's runners on second and third, one away for Shock Ninja. Shock pops this up. Sigil, actually, though, that is Z-Man underneath it for out number 2. Kiki's day is done. Getting replaced by Bat B2, so Kiki will not have a chance to hit now. Grounder to third, fires over to first, and that's in time for out number 3. 4-0 in favor of the bunnies, and a 2 on the bun. Start of the third inning, Lenofist is now on the mound. Grounder to third, scooped up and in time for the first out. Here's Z-Man. Grounder, Zoc fires to first to Silly Person for out number 2. Mr. Cab now at the bat as Leno delivers, pops up into the air. Panzer Dave is underneath it for out number 3, side retired. So 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the third here on the bun. Chance for the Adirondack Mechanic Bimes to try to counter back. Snow Bear at the top of the lineup, grounding over towards third, fires to first for the out number 1. Yarn Dragon Tracy looks outside, ball 1. And down the middle, Fred getting some control of the plate back with that strike. Say that too soon. That's outside, ball 2. 2-1. And that's inside, ball 3. Hit well towards right. That is going to be at least a single, and it will be a single as that's scooped up and picked up and brought back into the field. Here's All Dog. All Dog hits this well into the air, but it's not going to be deep enough. Moonrise and Phoenix is underneath it for out number 2. And now here's Silly Person. Silly Person pops this up into the air. Should be playable for Z-Man, who makes the out. Side retired. So a hit well ball from Shark Ninja, but can't go anywhere. We reach the end of 3. It's 4-0 in favor of the Spiral Cave Bunnies. Head over to Silly Person for out number 1. Here's Fred. Spiral Cave Bunnies leading this game 4-0. This has been the longest lead they've had since taking that win back on the opening for the second half of the season. Fred gets a single, so that's the first time we've seen Fred. I believe now the second time Fred's been on base today. First legitimate hit we've seen. Moonrise and Phoenix swings poorly at a pitch down to the dirt. Strike 3 for 2 away. Sigil hits well to center field. And we've got runners on first and second. Night Shifter would love to continue his very well streak going here for the second half of the season. Hitting 578 now for the second half of the season, but that's right to the second base who fires to second. Out number 3, side retired. Bottom of the 4th, Panzer Dave leads this off. Hit well to center, and Smile is underneath it for out number 1, right at the warning track. Captain sharp down the left field line. That should be at least 1. Moon's up to it fast, which will keep this to be only a single. And now Tramp, trying to take second and beats the throw, beats it out. Ball outside. fires over and is out. So we head to the top of the 5th. Popped up into the air. And out number 1. Here's Coconut. That's hit pretty well to break out of a slump over towards the left field line. And that's a double for Coconut. And here's Z-Man. Getting up to that Mendoza line. Catches a piece of the plate, does Leno for strike 1. Hit very well down the right field line, and that will be fair. Rounding third and heading on home is Coconut Ed, and Z-Man has a double. This hit well down the right field line, but right there to snag it for out number 2. It's scooped up by a silly person, and that will do it. So they tack one more run on. We're halfway through this game. It's 5-0 in favor of the Spiral Cave Bunnies. Shock will lead out the bottom of the 5th. And slow pitch by Fred, but gets out as it goes right straight back to silly or small fires. Leno gets the bat, bottom of the 5th, and he hits this pretty well down the left side. It will stay in play for Moonrise and Phoenix for out number 1 or out number 2. Here's Snow Bear. Hit strongly well. That is out of here. A home run. They'll put the Adirondack Mechanic 5s on the board. Yarn Dragon Tracy hit towards center. Smile is underneath it and puts that away for out number 3. But the Mechanic 5s get on the board in the bottom of the 5th. They're down 5-1 as we turn to the 6 on the bun. Top of the 6, Fred will lead things off here. And Fred pops this up into the air, and it's going to be out by Yarn Dragon Tracy for out number 1. Here's Moonrise and Phoenix. He will hit this over to Trap Royale, fires over to first for out number 2. Here's Sigil. Sigil grounder just past the Sliding Shock Ninja for a base hit. Night Shifter pops this foul. Silly person getting to it, and we'll have enough real estate to make the catch for round number 3. So middle of the 6, it's 5-1 in favor of the Bunnies here on the bun, and we are going to start things off with a change of pitchers, as Iceman will come in here in the relief at the bottom of the 6. Iceman, a 409 hitter. Swung on a miss, that's strike 1. That's a grounder, scooped up by Mr. Cab, just beating the throw though, and is safe. Silly person pops this up. And underneath this Moon Risen Phoenix, that will be out number 1. Here's Panzer Dave hitting 517. And that should have been a double play, but didn't get it. Should have just tagged the runner and thrown to first. That would have been perfectly fine. No harm, as this popped up to Moon Risen Phoenix for out number 3, side retired. So we've reached the end of 6. It's 5-1 in favor of the Spiral Cave Bunnies, hoping to bust out of their losing streak. You're on the Bun, brought to you by Salty Beverage. Also by Spiral Pretzel. Here's Coconut Ed. This will be in for a base hit, so Coconut Ed getting to end a little bit of a skid. Here's Z-Man. This goes strongly foul into the seats for the about 12,000 in attendance here. Gently outside, ball 1. Inside, ball 2. Catches a piece of the play for strike 2. The 2-2, 1 away. And catches a look over the plate. And out is Z-Man. And that will do it. As we've got a pitching change, Mike is a fighter coming up. With Mr. Cab at bat. Mr. Cab hitting 360 on the season. Mike is a fighter, gets ready to deliver. And hit well. That will be a base hit to center. And Snowbear getting it back in. Here's Angel of Sin. Put 2 away. And through the opening, that's a base hit. And they will be loading up, going around third and heading on home. Not contested. It's 6-1 Bunnies. So Iceman now, dribbler down the third base side, and that will be an out. The force out will end the inning. 6-1. Spiral Cave Bunnies as we head to the bottom of the 7th here on the Bun. Bottom 3 coming up here for the Spiral Cave, or for the Adirondack Mechanic 5s as we start off the home 7th. Starting off a Tramp Royal. On the season, Tramp Royal is hitting 333, or the half season, as Iceman gets ready to deliver. And that's followed on the right side. 0-1. Hit right to Sigil, who will make the force out at first. Here's Shock Ninja. Shock Ninja hits this over towards right. And underneath it for the out, it will be Coconut Ed. Here's Mike as a fighter. Mike is a fighter hoping to help his team out. Down 6-1. Swings and misses at strike 1 as Iceman delivers. Way outside for ball 1. And hits over to second. Z-Man picks it up, fires the Sigil. That's out number 3. Side is retired. All right, 6-1 as we head to the top of the 8th. Next on the Bun. Baseball Stars on the Bun, brought to you by Salty Beverage. When you need a beverage to get you through your day, trust a Salty Beverage today at a retailer near you. We start off with Moon Risen Phoenix, a 400 hitter. Hit strongly but right to Shock Ninja for the first out. Sigil. Pretty significant plays over there at first base for Sigil today. Takes the 1-0, swings at it, pops it up in the air. Shock Ninja is underneath it for out number 2. Night Shifter is up. Swing and miss, that's strike 1. It through the gap. That will be a base hit. So here's some outfires. Hit well towards center. And back there to retrieve it is Snow Bear. Side is retired. Alright, 3 outs remain for the Adirondack Mechanic fights. Can they? We'll find out next on the button. We start off with Snow Bear. Need to get some runners on base here. Down by 5. Iceman gets Snow to chase in the dirt. Strike 1. Hit over towards right center. And that's going to fall for a base hit. So Snow Bear rounding first, heading over to second. And we'll be there with a double. Ball. 2-0. Edge of the plate, strike 1. Then misses on another attempt to do the same there. Oh, the pitch outside catches the plate. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout there for Iceman. And there's one away. Here's All Dog. Hit well towards left center. That's going to fall for a base hit. Snow Bear rounding third. Will head on home. Is going to score easily. And All Dog's going to head to third on the throw. So that's a triple. Silly Person grounding it. And Sigil picks it up and holds the runner at bay over there at third. 6-2. 2 away. Here's Panzer Dave. Panzer Dave, a couple of weeks ago, hit a huge home run that allowed for the Adirondack Mechanic Fights to defeat the Spiral Cave Bunnies on that day. 2-1, way inside, ball 3. Iceman trying to deliver around Dave. Hit well, but foul. Full count, and walks him. Captain hits this up into the air. Moon Risen Phoenix is underneath it for out number 3. Side retired. Final inning, next on the bun. Baseball Stars on the bun, brought to you by Spiral Pretzels. When you need a pretzel, trust the Spiral. Spiral Pretzels by Salty Beverage, helping quench your throat when you need it the most. Spiral or Salty Beverage. Coconut Ed. Grounder to short. Picked up and fired over to first for the first out. Here's Z-Man as Mike delivers. And that will go foul just past the line. The 1-1 into the air. This is playable for Silly Person, who makes the catch for out number 2. And Mike now getting to Mr. Cab. Mr. Cab hits this up into the air. It's got some distance. Is it going to stay in here? It's going to barely hit the warning track. Side retired. Final chance for the Adirondack Mechanic 5s. Next on the bun. Baseball Stars brought to you by the Shock Wrestling League. As that goes into right for a base hit. Catch the next edition of the Shock Wrestling League Saturdays over on Shock's Twitch channel. As Shock comes up here, runner on second, nobody away, and his team down by 4. Hit into the air. Playable for Coconut Ed. And now here's Mike is a fighter. That's going to be a base hit. However, because they weren't sure, not much could be done to advance the runner. Snow Bear now, a swing of the bat could pull the Adirondack Mechanic 5s within one. Outside for ball one. Nice man trying to keep Snow Bear from setting its tone for this game. It's a grounder. It's a base hit. Runners weren't going, so they fired a second for the out. So 2 away. Runners on first and second for Yarn Dragon Tracy, who needs to keep the inning going. Ray Raids Gaming coming in here for the save. Yarn Dragon Tracy hit well to right. This will fall for a base hit. 1 run will score. Rounding second. Heading over to third. And on the throw, advancing over to second is Yarn Dragon Tracy. Now the tying run is on the batters. The tying run is at bat. All Dog with a swing of this game. A swing of the bat. Could tie things up. 6-3. Runners on second and third. 2 away. Ray Raids Gaming delivers. Hit well to left. Is it playable? It's not. It's a home run. We are tied. Ray Raids Gaming hits one right or pitches one over the plate. All Dog is on top of it. It is now 6-6 in favor of the Adirondack Mechanic 5s. Who's going to be the hero? Silly Person hit well to right center. Is it going to stay in here? It's going to be off the top of the wall. Silly Person heading to second. Panzer Dave now at bat. Hit well. This is gone. It's a game winner. A 6-run comeback for the Adirondack Mechanic 5s as it sends the Adirondack Mechanic 5s to the 8-6 win. What a finish! And they're mobbing Panzer Dave over at home plate. As we check in with Panzer Dave for the post-game interview. Saying that me and All Dog having a pretzel after that. So the Spiral Cave Bunnies had the lead until the bottom of the 9th, and then all of a sudden Panzer Dave with a game-winning home run to kind of just change out everything in that game was going to play out. Wow, what a finish. And we're glad that we were able to bring it to you here on the Bun. And we'll be back here for more of the baseball stars coming up here real soon. We've got a lot of games to make up as a result of some cancellations. And I would do a doubleheader now, but my voice is not there. I need to get a little bit of a rest. But we could be back a little bit later on with more here on the Bun.